Well, here I am with another video, and now I'm going to talk about four nations: uh, Russia, China, United States, and Mexico. Excuse me. I hope everything is well in your house with your loved ones. But we're going to answer some questions about this: why Putin is still in power in Russia so many years and is still in power. Why China became so rich in so short period of time. And it is about what 2 decades, about 20 years ahead of the United States in technology because they focus so much on innovations. And in spite of the United States is the biggest country and a more powerful country, but China is ahead in technology because of the innovations. And why Trump is expansionist, want to annex Canada as a state of the United States, and by Greenland, uh, and get the Panama Canal back again to the United States, which is understandable because when they built the Panama Canal, uh, the United States make a lot of contributions about that. They put so much money on it. And also, Mexico is better in economy. And not only in economy, but it's getting bigger. So we're going to talk about those four nations which evolve the whole world. They play a role in the uh, evolution of this cosmos that we live in. So the title of this video is Change and Continuity of History. We're going to see different, history continued, change and change through the years. And that's what we're going to focus today. Why? Because you will understand my future videos if you understand a little bit of history on those four nations. And I'm going to be brief and a little bit of history of all of these nations that you can learn about this and also understand the next videos that I'm going to talk about. There are significant shifts or alterations in societies due to new technologies, political system, or social structures. However, some societies remain relatively unchanged. Over time, provide a sense of stability. In this video, I'm going to talk about the four powerful nations: uh, USA, Russia, China, and Mexico. Those four nations going to change the world and the cosmos, the universe. And the changes in the world as we live in the beginning of 21st century. 21st century started on 2001 to 2100 to uh, 2100. And in the beginning of the third millennium, which started on 1001 and to 3000. Let's talk about a little bit about the history of Russia. Russia started with and I'm going to start with the Romanov dynasty that ruled Russia for about 3 centuries. The first Tsar was Mikhail Romanov, crony in 1613, and the dynasty ended in 1917 with the execution of the Tsar Nicholas II and his family. It was carnage. It was terrible the way they killed him. The Russian people didn't like Tsar Nicholas II for his incompetence and concerning his government, which led to a hardship for the people and their reliance or dependency and the controversial mystic uh, monk Gregory Rasputin. You might remember Rasputin, you know, who alienate the public, or separate the public from the royal family. The Tsar's wife, Alexandra, who believed that Rasputin was a holy man and he will cure the son, Alexis, the heir to the throne, from a chronic illness, hemophilia. This infuriated nobles, church leaders, and peasants, people in the farm, whom saw Rasputin as a religious charlatan. And indeed, he was a charlatan. This led to the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, who leader was Vladimir Lenin, and formed a new government, the USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, a Marxist state, until his death in 1924. And Joseph Stalin succeeded Lenin. He was a criminal dictator also, as Lenin was, who defeated Hitler. They were friends and they were enemies after that. And he died in 1953. Then he was succeeded by Nikita Khrushchev, who died in 1971. Other leaders took power until the most important, Mikhail Gorbachev. Do you remember Mikhail Gorbachev, who took power from 1985 to 1991? He was a good man. In the time of Ronald Reagan, if you remember, who told him, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. What did Reagan refer to? Well, Reagan was also a good president. Gorbachev and Reagan were good presidents. Referred to Berlin Wall, built by Nikita Khrushchev and fell in November 9, 1989. This Berlin Wall that they built separate the families, from years East and West Germany, but it was built by Nikita Khrushchev. And so in 1989, they tear down the wall, and it was in national television, how they did. Mr. Gorbachev made some reforms when he was in power, perestroika, which mean in Russia, restoration economy, and also gladnost, great opening. After the dissolution of USSR, Soviet Union, communism fell, and they adopt a socialism model, because the country had so many economic problems. Inflation was very high, and the people very poor. So the country started ruled by oligarchs. And I think we're going to go to the area, because oligarchs probably going to rule United States. It look like, it's just insert this comment, but you are the one who was the judge. What is the oligarchs? Oligarchs are millionaires that bought business and corporations that were belong to the country. It's very similar to what happened in Mexico in the time of neoliberalism. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, this is before him, and he is straight up Mexico because he was so much corruption on it. The USSR became the Russia Federation. They even changed the red flag for the three-color flag and lost some states, which became independent, split into Ukrainians and Belarusians. Putin still want Ukraine because of the natural riches that nation has, petroleum, titanium, uranium, magnesium, lithium, crops, etc. And that's why we see this battle between Russia and Ukraine. In 1990, new leaders led by President Putin formed KGB, an organization of criminals. Okay, KGB was like that. He was a KGB agent and Prime Minister of Yeltsin, the president, who resigned in 1999. Putin was the acting president until now. He was born in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, in 1952, and still ruled Russia, as you know. Recently, we see the downfall of the dictator Bashar al-Assad. This had a lot to do with Putin. That's why I bring it over. Bashar al-Assad, who ruled Syria since 2000, and he was military support by Putin, who had a military base in Syria. Well, no anymore. That made Russia a little weak because they lost that military base in Syria. Now Syria is changing, but that is another video. Now China. Let's go to China. The history of China. China is one of the oldest civilizations in human history with so many dynasties, and is multiracial country, 56 ethnic groups. The victory of Mao Zedong, communist criminal dictator, proclaimed the establishment of the People Republic of China from 1949 to 1976. When he died, after his death, the government began economic reforms and established a socialist market under Deng Xiaoping. You remember Deng Xiaoping, 1978 to 1989. He was the first leader that visited the United States in 1979 because of the relationship the United States had with China. But he came over to United States. You might, this was happened in 1979 at the invitation of President Carter, who recently just died. He learned in that visit about the concept of capitalism and saw the technology and innovation of the country, the United States, and brought that to China. The trade of products from China to United States after his visit made China very rich. United States have a lot to do with how China is so rich now. President Trump is talking about tariffs. He wasn't existing at that time. They didn't put tariffs on China, and China controlled all the merchandise and brought a lot of merchandise to the United States without paying a penny. But that will contribute to be so rich. And China established a better economic world market and became the world's fastest growing economy country. Now he came the new ruler. Now we see is Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping was elected president in 2013. Until now, he is a communist atheist dictator who won Taiwan back to China. Taiwan became independent in 1949, and it is a capitalist country, kind of a capitalist country at this time. They don't want to go back again to communism. China doesn't allow the Bible in the country, and the Chinese Christians are persecuted for their faith in God. However, more Chinese people are converted to Christianity. Christianity is sweeping over the world. A lot of people embrace Christianity. Now let's go to the history, and you are familiar with this history in the United States. Well, it's United States. Where do they come from? They're immigrants like you and me. The only ones that are no immigrants are the American Indians. USA is formed by the European settlers, mainly Protestant from the Reformation of Martin Luther. You might remember in history, they came to America to escape the persecution of the Catholic Church. They were welcomed by the American Indians and established Protestant churches and became independent from the King of England. Uh, uh, Grow and became the most powerful nation in the world. As they grow, they became expansionist. I'm going to explain you what is expansionist. You don't understand the word. And full of greed for more land. They have the belief, and this is the belief that a lot of people have in the United States, that God wants United States to have the whole America, what we call in the manifest destiny. And a lot of the people in the United States believe that way. The manifest destiny, which is a belief for long time ago in the years before. Some of them still believe in that. One of them is President Trump, and is demonstrated in the appropriation of the 55% of the Mexican territory. You remember in by history in 1848, to the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which ended the Mexican-American War. We know the American battle that they have. The Mexican-American battle that they have, and a lot of people die there. And so USA became the most powerful nation in the world and maintained 800 military bases in 80 countries. That's why United States is very powerful nation, and a lot of nations afraid, to have a bad relationship with the United States. The country is in financial trouble at this time. Right now, with the new President Trump, the country might become great again, as he says, or in spite of the animosity and antagonism shown by other nations. Because you can see this in the news, you can see what's going on in the other nation. They are angry with the United States, especially with President Trump. Now let's go to the history of Mexico. It's beautiful history that Mexico has. I am Mexican, and so it's the land of the Aztecs, the Indians, the mestizos. I am mestizo. It's the mix of European people with the Indian. And so Mexico has been conquered by Spain. Because of that, Mexico became a Catholic people, because Spain was Catholic. So Mexico is Catholic. Now Mexico became independent and sovereign republic with 31 states and one federal district. Mexico is rich in natural resources, mines of gold, silver, iron, lithium, and also crops, corn, maize, beans, vegetables, and all kind of fruits. 6 years ago, Mexico became more successful and more independent from USA because of the new reforms of the President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, who is one of the greatest, one of the greatest, because there is another president that were greatest, like Miguel Hidalgo, and other ones, who is one of the greatest presidents in the history of Mexico. And now, with the new president, Claudia Sheinbaum, um, is leading Mexico to a world power nation. And you're going to see in the years ahead what I say, and some people don't believe me, but Mexico had the power to be a world power nation because of the resource and because the geographic location that it has. The industrialization open to foreign business and trade with the whole world. That's what Mexico can do. Trade with the whole world. Well, there you have it. This is the brief history of those four nations, uh, and the continued changing of the nations. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That you can see all my videos. There are different videos, different topics, and so you will enjoy it. Just subscribe to my channel that you can see and learn with me too. Okay. So God bless you.